Pow, 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 pow. Well, this will be interesting. First actual YouTube video other than like podcast based. But welcome, guys. If you're tuning in, my name is Juan. Just wanted to speak on the roller coaster of anxiety I experienced this past Thursday as I attempted to hit the stage and try to make some people laugh. So this past Thursday was the first time I ever tried to do stand-up in front of a crowd. And it was quite interesting the way it all kind of went down. You know, I initially saw the place is called improvMANIA in downtown Chandler, and passed it maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And like immediately, jumped on the Google and, searched information about it and noticed that they had open mic nights every Thursday. Sign up is at 7:30 and you go on, the show starts at 8 and everybody gets about 5 minutes. So I was like, wow, that's interesting. I know a couple friends that I keep hounding them to try, and get up there because I think they're hilarious. And so I was kind of getting them on it. And then eventually I started thinking about, I'm already kind of doing the podcast. I definitely enjoy trying to make people laugh. And I was like, man, maybe I'll do it. So just kicking around the idea for damn near, 3 or 4 months. And I don't know, the Friday before last, I had tried to host a work-related roast. I have been a part of 2 other roasts, and I enjoyed that. I love roasts. I guess a little background on comedy. I have always enjoyed comedy. I remember watching all the Comedy Central specials that were like 30 minutes long to an hour. Not really hip to all like the history of it, but I always definitely enjoyed watching stand-up comedians work. And so I just never pictured myself actually up there trying to do that because I haven't had that crazy of a life, and while I do love my puns, I don't know if I'm that hilarious, but I'm like, let's just go out. I've been thinking about doing it. Let's scratch that itch. So just finally just jumped on it. Oh, that's right. That Friday before, we got together in remembrance of one of my coworkers that had passed away last year. And I was planning to hold a roast, and it got out to corporate that we were going to have a roast. And in this climate that we have nowadays, that is a big no-no. So we scrapped it, and I had kept all the ideas. I mean, I only wrote like 5 or 6 jokes because we had just kind of started talking about it, but I still had them on my phone. So I whipped them out and read them to the people that were there at the bar, and they were laughing, and I'm laughing. I'm enjoying it. It's nothing quite better than making people laugh, because laughter is just pure joy. So I was like, man, maybe I'll just go ahead and just jump on it. It's this Thursday coming up. Well, it's every Thursday. So I'm like, what's my excuse now? Like, let's just do it. Here I am, like in my car on the way to work or in between picking up the kids. And I'm like, trying to like think of what I'm going to say, telling these jokes, and I just don't know how it's going to go. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm really making any ground because I've never got up there and done it. Shit, I've never even been to an open mic. I've been to plenty of stand-up shows, but never been to an open mic. So, you start thinking, man, maybe I can do some stand-up, right? So you start looking up stand-up and you see like all these legit comedians. You're like, well, I can never do that. Jeez. But then you start looking up open mics and you're like, well, I can definitely at least do that bad, So that was kind of like, the catalyst to kind of get me to go. So, make a drop, invite a few friends. My buddy Nate was kind enough to, set some time aside, and he rolled through. I owe you big time, Nate. He sat through 2.5 hours of open micers. Like, man, I just didn't expect some of them to be that bad. And he stuck through it all. So definitely owe you. But the reason I say it was an emotional or not emotional, a roller coaster of anxiety, because obviously I'm going up on stage. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows, the people that I'll be, referencing or anything like that. I mean, the story I was planning to tell was about an incident I had when I was in my early 20s, and I had a sexual interaction with a woman in her early 40s. So it was about a 20-year gap. And so I'm thinking I have 5 minutes, right? So you have 5 minutes to fill in because that's what the website said. So here I am, knowing that when you get up on stage, you just have diarrhea of the mouth. Everything comes out, and next thing you know, you look up and it's only been a minute and a half. So I'm like trying to think of, little cue points, little anecdotes I can sprinkle in just to kind of lengthen the story. And so here I am, thinking, well, I know I at least got 5 minutes. Maybe I'm thinking this bit could actually be 7 or 8 minutes. I just don't know what to expect. So I arrive, right 5 minutes before 7:30, and they're holding an improv class. And there's people performing there, and there's people in the lobby area, and there's a list there. So I'm like, okay, that must be the list. So I'm kind of hanging out, and I was like, yeah, let me get on that list. And I noticed that I'm number 18 on the list. So I'm like, oh shit. But not only am I number 18, I'm also, I guess there's a barrier, and I'm now been knocked down from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. Mind you, I've been trying to lengthen this story as much as possible, and I'm thinking it's a good 7 or 8 minutes, at most right now. And now I have to work that into 3 minutes. So now I'm just thinking, well, should I just go up there and do one-liners? Should I just, do these other jokes I've been thinking about? Should I do what? But I went there prepared to tell this story. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll still tell it. And then my buddy Nate shows up, and we're hanging in the lobby, and next thing you know, like 25 women walk in. I'm like, oh shit. Like, I was thinking maybe there's going to be like, 15, 20 people there in total. And now a group of like 25 women came in. So I'm thinking bachelorette party, oh shit's going to get wild apparently. So now I'm just thinking, okay, like, do I tell the story? It's pretty sexual. I'm second guessing myself. And then, we all file in, the show's about to start. And, the little chant comes up. I think it was like Vanessa, Vanessa, Vanessa. And one girl right in the middle, obviously she's Vanessa. She's a little embarrassed. And I'm like, man, there's a lot of people here, and they're all here to see her. Like, what's going on? And the guy that runs the place, he hosts a comedy course. And I guess the day that I picked to try out stand-up is the night that they're going to showcase the students that just went through the course. So that's why the place is packed. And not only that, I guess the material should be better, right? So now I'm, freaking out even more so, where I'm just like, oh, crap. Like, this is not just your typical open mic. It's this grandiose event, as it could be in that small little stand-up club. And so here I am just, doing mental gymnastics again, like, hey, talking yourself up, and like, you got this and you can do it. And they're going to find it funny and this and that. So I sit through, a good 8 to 12 acts, and some of them, because they're students, they're actually taking, upwards of 7 to 12 minutes. So it's a little bit longer than I anticipated. And then, so Vanessa goes up there, she kills it. Everybody did pretty well. Everybody in like that first block was definitely, not polished, but have been trying it for quite some time. And so she goes up, comes down, next person goes up, does their thing. And then when that person's down, everybody that's here for Vanessa leaves. And that, again, I was like a good 30 people. So now I went from psyching myself to do these jokes, the story I have in front of like a good 45, 50 people, to now there's like about 10 or 12 people in there. And I'm just like, whoa, okay. So what am I going to do? Are these people going to relate to? I'm start looking, around the room, and there's like 2 guys that are like over 75 years old. There's like a handful of people that probably aren't even 21 yet. And, there's maybe like me, my buddy, and one other person that, could relate to what I'm going to say. So now I'm just thinking like, should I go through with this still? Like, what do I do? I'm, freaking out a little bit. Then the next guy that goes up just completely sucks the energy out of that room. Just no stage presence, a soft, meek voice, was actually having a conversation with his female friend in the audience, asking her like what size clothes she wears and like what her style is, and then he had the audacity to say like the crowd sucks. And I'm just like, shit, man, this guy just killed everything. And then he's done. The guy that's running the place comes back in, and he's like, hey, I convinced some of the people to come back for this next act. And so some people start filing in. I'm like, okay, maybe they'll stick around. Like, I don't know how much longer I have, like where I fall on that list. And then the kid goes up, and he has a bunch of just angry jabs at everybody leaving, making it a little bit awkward, but he has potential. That guy, I didn't catch his name, but he's very animated. I got a Jim Carrey vibe out of him, but he does his thing, and then everybody's like, okay, we came back in for that act, like now we're leaving. So again, the room dies back down. And then what you start to realize is that everybody in the audience at an open mic is just waiting for their turn to go up. So it's not really a crowd. It's not people there looking to be entertained. They're just really just there waiting for their turn. So I'm just like, man, like, I don't know. But at the same time, like, if you can make people that consider themselves comedians or comedians laugh, then that's like, if you make those people laugh, like, I think that says a lot about what you have to say, and your delivery and all. It's all timing, right? So next person goes up, and it was a chick that was having that conversation with the previous guy up on stage, and she just, again, shits the bed, like, says she has nothing but Harry Potter jokes, tells one, and then she's like, well, that's all I have, and then started singing, and it was ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure I was up next from there. So handed the camera off to Nate, and I just stepped up on stage and did my thing. So I'll go ahead and leave you with that unedited video. So enjoy. Patiently waiting. Hi guys.
What's up?
I'm a comedy virgin. It's my first time up on stage. What better way to start off than talk about a story that proves I wasn't a virgin. Talking about cougars. Bunch of old ladies out here. I mean, it's Chandler, Scottsdale, that whole area. I feel like I maybe seduced a cougar at once, but that's 22-year-old self. 31-year-old self says, yeah, I was preyed upon. That was a predator. Lying in wait in the grass, shaking her little tail, licking her lips, tasting the air. And I'm over here like a little doe with these big ass ears bobbing around. Like, is that somebody? I don't know. Waits for her moment, bounces. Bah! Gets me. 7 screwdrivers down the throat. Next thing you know, she's like, let's go to your house. I'm like, okay, let's go. Next thing I know, we're doing our thing. A little down dog, a little up dog, a little down dog. And then I start, smelling some iron, like, in the air. I'm like, okay. Then it starts to feel a little stickier than normal. And I'm like, okay, I smell blood. She's like, no, there's no blood. I'm like, there's blood. I know what it smells like. And it's dark in there. I'm scared to turn on the lights. And so she's like, no, hold on. I got something in my purse. I'm like, she's bumbling around. And I'm just kind of sitting there. And she's like, all right, get on your back. Spread your legs. And she starts wiping me like a little baby. And I'm like, no. Oh my God, I went from just having sex to now being wiped like a little baby. And so she's like, no, there's nothing, we're good. And I'm like, all right, let's just finish this, be done. So we do the sin, right? Sin. And I go to the bathroom, and I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Go down there. It looks like I fucking fucked a cherry pie. I'm Jason Biggs in this story. So I clean myself up, Walk Shane back to the bedroom. I'm like, you gotta go. We're not turning on the lights. You gotta go. You know, kiss her goodbye. Get back inside. Turn on the lights. It's like fucking Dexter scene. That's where he's killing these bodies. I'm like, no way. Pillowcase, bed sheet, this and that. So I'm like, I gotta get this shit out, right? So roll it up, run it outside, and I just realized I'm fucking walking around with bed sheets full of blood, middle of the night. But like, neighbor does a double take. I'm like, oh, just shove it in, come back out, come back in. I'm like, all right, got nothing to sleep on. I text her, I'm like, hey, you know the mess you just made? And she goes, oh no, Daddy, your dick was just so big, you tore my pussy up. I'm like, no way. I got Aquaphor and everything. So 22-year-old self says, I did the thing. 31-year-old self says, she has a really good excuse for being on the rag. And that's my fucking cougar story.
That's all right, man. No, it's not your fault. It's just stage. Yeah. Hey, listen. Okay, there we go. Wine, you guys. Wine. You fucking old ladies. Wine. Okay. Up next, you guys, is just...
So that was the video, guys. That was my first time up on stage. Hope you guys found something funny out of it. It was, again, a bit that I feel like could be 7 or 8 minutes condensed to 3 minutes. If you notice, he started playing the harmonica there at the end. That's his key, or your cue as the person on stage, that, hey, your 3 minutes are up, time to clear off the stage. And at this point, you know, they're trying to burn through people coming up on stage because the night's dragging on. Shit, there was at least 18 of us because I was 18, right? And there's like at least 5 people after me. So I really hope that you guys see some potential in that, and I'll continue to you know, try to find some things that I can twist and make funny. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try it every 2 weeks. I could do every week, but I can't bring that upon everything else I'm doing on top of the family, like to do it every week. So I'm shooting for every 2 weeks. You can find me there. So not this Thursday, but next Thursday. You can find me at improvMANIA in downtown Chandler, Arizona. You can also visit the website, my website, www.thisjuantime.com. I have an events page where I have like the next 3 weeks notated on there with a link to the club, so you can, you know, see what else they offer and their address and location and all that good stuff. But yeah, it was definitely fun, and I can't wait to do it again. So let me know what you guys thought, and yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, guys, have a good day. Catch you next time.